So, genuine question. How many times do you have to look at your kids' bumholes at the moment? Do they keep them to themselves?
Oh, what do you mean with them showing me?
Just in general, like looking down the barrel of the gun. How often?
Not that often. Lola doesn't do that anymore. Do you know does sometimes? I think they've kind of out of that a bit. They keep hearing from upstairs is, if you don't do this, I'm going to put my nunny on that. Like they're in that stage at the moment where they'll wipe things on each other's. I'm just like, stop.
They're so gross.
Gross.
I don't remember being so gross, but honestly, this morning, Paige, I'm like, are you ever going to grow out of this?
She just spread them.
She'll kill me if she ever sees it. She'll kill me. She'll hate me for it. She sat on the toilet there, all in her school uniform, and she's having a wee before we go. She said, Mummy, my bum hurts. I'm like, oh. I go, what, your bum on the outside? She goes, no, my bum hole hurts. It really hurts. It hurts. It hurts more than a volcano. It hurts more than a volcano. And I'm like, okay. I said, well, wipe and let me have a look. And she's bent over with her bum. Like, but the way that they do it, it's so graphic. And I just think, how much longer is this going to go on for? Where I see her bum once a day.
One of my friends, she was worried about her son. I can't remember what she was worried about, but I was like, it was something to do with his body. And I was like, well, haven't you seen it? She's like, no, he's not shown me his body for years. And I was like, oh. But I'm very, it's a naked house. Like I walk around, like the girls come in most of the time when I'm wiping my arms to talk to me about something. I'm like, for fuck's sake.
My mum the other
just
day,
wipe my bum.
She, so I was doing one of them classrooms again. My mum was looking after Paige and she was doing her bath and that. And there was a little 10-minute break, so I came in to give her a big squidge while she was in the bath, because I hadn't seen her since the morning, and I weren't going to see her till after she'd gone to bed. And I went, oh, I just need to go to the toilet quickly. And my mum just stood there, and I went, Mum, I need to go to the toilet. And she went, oh, what, you're just going to do it in here? Like with Paige being in the bath. And I was like, Mum, I went, I always poo in front of her.
Yeah.
I always poo while she's in the bath. Which I know is gross, but if I need to go, I need to go. Yeah. And if she's in the bath, I'm not going to go downstairs and sit on the toilet downstairs when she's in the bath. Yeah. Like, if she knocks herself out, you know, I need to watch her. Yeah. So she has to suffer, and she's got really strong sisters.
The girls always fucking poo when I'm brushing my teeth.
It's awful, isn't it? I'm like, the poo particles are going in my mouth. I'm like, stop it. But then I'm just as bad. But I'm sort of creating this environment where, and I know this is why she loves showing me a bumhole, because I don't tell her not to. Yeah. Because I don't see why she should. Because if she was saying it's hurting, and she's like, oh no, don't look. Yeah, exactly. You know, but it's just the way that they do it. It's like bent right double, hands on the ankles, you know, and I just think, what? But no qualms about it either. Doesn't bat an eyelid. Before I became a mum, I had no idea how many bumholes I was going to see, because it's not just hers, it's all kids. You know, like every child, it's just, you know, right in the eye. And I think, oh, it's just weird when you've been an adult for so long and you've not really been around kids, because I wasn't. Yes, yeah. You know, up until the age of probably 28. I wasn't around kids. I didn't have young cousins or, you know, anything like that. And then all of a sudden, from like 30 onwards, it's just been bumhole central. And I wonder when this phase of my life is going to end.
How were you, when you had Paige, did it all come quite naturally, having the baby, or did you feel a bit weird because you weren't used to kids?
I felt really natural with her.
Yeah.
I felt not uncomfortable actually. I felt a little bit like worried I was going to do the wrong thing with Leo, who's my nephew, and he was born 15 months before Paige.
Okay.
And I was a bit like, I don't know what I'm doing.
Yes,
was my feeling. I loved him. I held him, and if she showed me, I was comfortable, but I didn't know how to do a nappy, or feed him, or wind him. I hadn't done any of those things ever. Never done any of those things. And then kind of helped me a little bit with Paige, but not much, because it was a completely different ball game. I honestly don't know where the arrogance came from. I was like, step aside, nurses and doctors and professionals. I know what I'm doing with this child. And it was just this innate belief in myself that I knew exactly everything about her. Isn't that mad?
It is mad, but it is I think.
Did you feel like that?
As soon as I had Lola, I had a lot of very strong instincts. Like, she slept with me. She never slept in a crib or anything, because that didn't feel right for me. But that was against like what the midwives and stuff would advise. But I was like, no, you know, there was a lot of things that I did because I felt that they were right. But I always think that whenever I meet someone, my first impression of that person is always right. And if, like with ex-boyfriends or whatever, if there's any red flags in the early stages of our relationship that I then
ignore,
they always come back.
Oh,
and it's always,
but you've got so much evidence to support the fact that everything you do is always going to be okay. Everything you feel and all your instincts are always right for you. Because you're different to everyone.
Yeah.
You are different to everybody. There are so many different ways to raise a baby.
Yeah.
So many different ways. If you show them love, if you give them stability, if you make them feel safe, and you cater to their needs, if you meet their needs, then you're a good mum.
Yeah.
You're a good mum, or you're a good dad, and you're smashing it. You know, I bottle fed Paige. I tried to breastfeed, the milk would not come out of my boobs, so I couldn't feed her because it would not come out. And I sat weeping on the stairs with 2 electric pumps on my ginormous rock hard tits, and nothing would come out. So I had to bottle feed her. It's all right. That's not what the midwives and the health visitors want you to do. But, you know, they want you to breastfeed.
You have to do what's right for you and the baby, because the most important thing is you're all right.
And I never, ever slept with her. Never.
Yeah.
Never slept with her. I slept with her on my chest the first day in the hospital. And I put her in the little thing next to me, and then she started to choke. And that was really scary. And Claire, my sister, went running out and, excuse me, help me. Came in, because I couldn't get up. Natural birth and piles, couldn't move.
Fucking piles.
Mate, that was tragic.
Yeah.
And then she was choking on some of the juices. It happens with natural births. And so they sat her up, but then that scared me. So I had her on my chest that night. And then another night she slept on me. But this was within the first week. Then after that, she was in a cocooner baby by the bed. And within 6 weeks, she was in the other room in the cot. And the reason being, I used to have night terrors. So I was highly anxious and very stressed, and I didn't acknowledge any of my feelings. Don't do that, people. Don't do that, kids, because it will come out some way. So I used to spring out of bed screaming, and I got bruises all down my legs. One time, in my mum and dad's back bedroom, where we used to sleep, I was sleeping there, I woke up with my leg out the window. I was literally hanging out the window of my mum and dad's when I woke up, because I was trying to escape.
Fucking hell.
But that's all stuff like fear, worry, that I weren't even, but anyway, so I'm thinking, what if I have a night terror and she's on me and I throw her? What if I have a night terror and I just tread on her? She's not safe. And also I was so panicky about her that every noise, I couldn't sleep. So I couldn't rest, couldn't sleep. So I thought, I put her in the other room and I put her on one of those sensors that has the heartbeat, that picks up the heartbeat. I'm like, if her heart is beating, I know she's safe. Yeah. And so then that was what I did. And that felt right to me to do. But when she's not well, if she's been sick, I want her to be with me.
Yes, yeah.
She can't sleep. She can't sleep. She's not used to it. And I can't either. I'm not used to being in the bed with her.
Yeah.
we irritate each other, make each other hot.
Yeah.
And she goes, she says to me, Mummy, can I go back in my own bed now? This is from when she was like 4. She was sick. She threw up all over my bed and then popped off. I was like, oh. Honestly, bumholes, vomit, nits. It's so unglamorous. I really feel like the way that my experience with Paige was really determined by how I was feeling, what I was going through at that time.
Yeah.
Because I loved her as a baby.
Yeah.
We were a little team, and she would have me up like she was a big drinker. She loved her milk. I loved it. I was so happy because I just felt like I had everything that I could have ever wanted.
Yeah.
And then when we split up, it became hell on earth, and having to juggle everything and be at such a low ebb as a
How old
person.
was she?
She was 9 months. Okay. It was really a totally different story.
Yeah.
Because everything felt like I was bleeding, you know, like blood, sweat and tears to read a book, to do a nappy, and then it was all going into her, and she was such hard work because she was so unsettled, and she had constant chest infections, coughs and colds, hospital visits, because she was so run down, I was so run down. But she was the bonniest little thing. She was such a happy, healthy, beautiful, bright, bubbly little baby. And I've worked my arse off to get myself out of that pit so I could bring her up with me. Yeah. And that's where we are now. But anyway, we're going to end it now. Because we're on fire, we're on form, we're doing 20 minutes so that we don't bore the arse off of you. So, bumholes galore.
Yeah.